Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest Needless unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, and I am full of excitement because in front of me is the online Comic-Con exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates Baxter Stockman in Bug Zapper Blue Glow. This is awesome because I have decided that I need to go all in on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates line. It is an update on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line that I was a huge fan of, and I love Masters of the Universe Classics, and this is basically that for Ninja Turtles. So I went all in on the line. I've got all of the three initial waves pre-ordered, and when this was offered, I felt like there was a chance it would end up being the first figure to make its way into my hands. And sure enough, it is. Super 7 is the best. And we are going to check this figure out right now. It's in this brown mailer box that Mattel made famous with their Masters of the Universe Classics line. And I'm going to slide it right out of here. Now, if you go back and watch, I also did a review, an unboxing, if you will, of Super 7's Toxic Crusader Radioactive Glow Toxie figure. You know what I'm going to do? Because I can tell that this box has some nice glow-in-the-dark deco on it. You can look and see that this is an embossed manhole cover with Baxter's face right there. Then on the front, Ninja Turtles with a nice sort of, I don't know if that's a splat or if that's a breakthrough, but whatever the case, these are gorgeous graphics on this box. So I am going to take a moment right now. We're going to let this thing charge up, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to see what this looks like in the dark. So as you can see, Super 7 is super serious about glow. I love it. Beautiful package, Baxter Stockman. And if you notice on the top here, Ultimates. This is so exciting to me, you guys. I've actually got a backlog of videos right now. I didn't need another unboxing, but I had to get this figure out. So we're going to do that right now. We've got a nice slipcase design here with even more glowing. Unbelievable. This is actually the back of the box with a bio for Baxter Stockman. I love the foot graffiti up here. Some Turtles business here. A little power to indicate his bug zapper glow, I guess. Baxter Stockman, a man with the mind of a scientist and the body of a common housefly, buzzes around town, annoying the turtles and other decent reptiles. Created accidentally in Dimension X by a malfunctioning disintegrator unit, Baxter flurried himself into an avenging frenzy. Convinced by Shredder that the turtles were solely responsible for his rebirth as an insect, Baxter now vents his hostilities towards our half-shelled heroes. Now, I had all of these figures when they first came out, the original Playmates Ninja Turtles. I do not remember if that bio is lifted word for word from that original packaging or if this is something new that Super 7 has put together. But whatever it is, it's great. And I love bios on the back of my action figures. Super 7, Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon owns the Turtles' green butts now. And we flip it over. Oh my gosh, he is gigantic and gorgeous. And look at the metallic finish on this lab coat and this face. This is unbelievable. And take a look at the box here. You can see this glossy sort of spatter design going across the top. This all glows. I'm going to get some good shots in here of all of the glowing packaging. I will throw that in maybe right about here. So like I said, Super 7 is super serious about glow. This figure's absolutely gorgeous. Let's get him out of this incredible packaging that I almost wish I had gotten 2 of these because this box looks so nice. What I might end up doing once I get the regular Baxter Stockman is put this guy back in the box and keep this as a display piece. But right now, I've got to get my hands on the first ever Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates figure. Normally I would open from the bottom, but as you can see, we've got this folded thing going on here. So I'm going to take my trusty 1964 box cutter, slice right through that circular piece of tape, and open up this top panel so we can let this guy out of his box. I'm going to stand that packaging up so it can absorb the light down here in the phantom zone for the glow pictures I will be taking. He's much bigger than I expected. If you take a look here, he is easily a big 7-inch scale figure. This is not, this isn't a 6-inch scale figure. This is a big boy. I'm very impressed with the size on this guy, but what's going to be fun is bending all of these joints and all this articulation and hunching him over like the miserable little peon he is. Let's take our trusty Dollar Tree fingernail clippers. Always keep a pair of these at your toy opening station. Let's see how tough this is going to be to get out of here. Easy enough. Everything seems to pull right out. I'm going to go ahead and just pull this tray out. And it looks like, no, I don't think any of this is going to glow, but in the event that it does, I'm going to set it right over here to the side so it can just suck up these phantom beams down here in the phantom zone. Let's get that out of our picture. All right, we've got 2 trays down here. So once again, I'm going to bust out my trusty 1964 box cutter, slice through all of this tape holding these trays together, and in some cases, perhaps slice through the tray. Whoops. I want to make it as easy as possible to get all of this stuff out so we can check it all out and take a good look at everything that comes with the evil mad scientist Stockman. Let's clip right through all of these, multiple twist ties, multiple rubber bands. I hate this stuff, but it's a necessary evil for our hobby to keep these little plastic icons safe and intact as they get shipped to us via whatever means we have selected. All right, let's see here. A little rubber band off the leg there. Get rid of that twist tie. Let's get his blaster out of here. And set that aside and take a look at the evil, hideous, deformed, disgusting Baxter Stockman. All right, I'm going to carefully loosen up these joints because you never know with new figures. Look at those eyes. This is an absolute update of that original Baxter Stockman figure. This is not an adaptation of the character from the cartoon, even though that is what the figure is based on, or at least the cartoon was maybe based on the figure. I'm still a little foggy on how all of that came about. But he's got his human arms and then his bug arms on the back here. But unlike that original Playmates Baxter Stockman, you've got all kinds of articulation back here. Lots of posing capabilities. Now, you'll notice that these disc joints right here are not the translucent glow-in-the-dark material of the rest of the figure. I'm okay with that. I understand that when you're doing a special project like this, it's not practical to make these kinds of pieces out of this translucent material. So this honestly doesn't bother me a bit, and I'll be curious to snap the lights off in a minute here and see if these pieces glow or if they just leave black spots in the glowing parts. It'll be interesting to see. But all of the articulation is fantastic. You can see I'm getting a little more comfortable moving this guy around because I can tell how sturdy he is, how sturdy these points of articulation are. We've got a little waist joint there. There we go. Loosen that up a little bit. And you can actually feel up here his lab coat. I don't know if you can tell. His lab coat is actually a soft PVC piece on top of his body. And there's a joint right about here in his abdomen that pretty much just swivels. But that's fine. What more do you need it to do? It's cool enough that there's a joint there at all. I've got hips, great ball jointed hips, really deep, nice knee bends right there. Ankles also very deep. So what we can get is the look of that original Baxter Stockman figure. That hunched over little creep look. And then his wings here, you can see they're posed a little strangely. However, because on the original figure, I think they were more facing forward. But if this guy is going to fly, this is how these wings would be. They wouldn't be perpendicular to the, or I guess parallel to the figure. They would be perpendicular to let him hover. So this is great. I love this. And you can, pose them up like that. They're hinged and swiveled. So you've got a lot more mobility than the original figure. The head basically just, oh no, wait, it does have a little bit, okay, I don't know if you can see in there or not. It is just on a peg, so it's mostly just swivel. Again, that's fine. That's no problem at all. And then he's got his monstrous fly arms here that come out over those shoulders. I love this. And again, on the original figure, this was all just one piece. He didn't have these great joints that allowed this range of motion that we've got on this figure. I love this. You can put these underneath. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with these crazy arms. I am in love with this figure, you guys. Look, he's got his little bow tie, his hideous veiny chest, which is glow in the dark underneath there. That syringe that's going through his pocket. This is just a super modern, plussed up version of that original Baxter Stockman figure. And of course, this Comic-Con variant or online Comic-Con variant is glow in the dark. There will be a regular version that has a deco that's reminiscent of that original Playmates figure. And again, there you go. I realize this isn't the best angle for you guys, but you can see he stands up and he has that stature and that weirdness of the original figure. So let's take a look at the accessories that Baxter came with. He's got that weird fly swatter piece that little part right there can actually come off, and he can just hold the fly swatter, the turtle swatter. Look at that devious jerk with the little baby turtle he's smashed with his fly swatter. And I wonder what the purpose, because if I remember correctly, this hooked over his arm on the older one, which isn't really necessary on this one because he can actually just hold the fly swatter. So this piece is a little weird. I'm not quite sure with the setup of this toy what that is supposed to hook onto. It's not going to go over his arm. Maybe, no, that doesn't seem to be a thing either. But what I like is that this does replicate that original weird fly swatter or turtle swatter weapon. And then we've got his unique laser gun that he came with as well. If I can get, there we go. You can see lots of sculpted detail on this thing. Very, very cool looking piece. On the back, we've got this weird disc that maybe it's to keep, when he blasts something, it's to keep it from spattering back in his face. I don't know. And right here, what I consider sort of a bonus piece, because I don't know if the regular Stockman comes with this or not, a mouser with an articulated jaw. And as you can see, this also glows in the dark. And it wouldn't be a needless unboxing if I didn't drop something on the floor. Trying to loosen up a stiff joint. Two nice leg joints right there. In the comics, Baxter Stockman was the inventor of the mousers. I cannot remember if that carried into the cartoons or not, but I do love that he comes with a mouser and that it's got the foot logo right there. It's a nice touch. Evil, diabolical little mechanical creature. Great threat to the turtles. Great threat to Master Splinter. Cool extra. I would buy a box of these. Of regular ones. They wouldn't even have to glow in the dark. I like having just one glow in the dark one. I would buy just a box of mousers. All right. And then finally, we have a number, if I can get them out of here. I don't want to mess up my tray too terribly much because, like I said, I want to... Man, these are flying all over the place. I want to try and put all this back and keep this glow-in-the-dark version as a display piece once I get the regular Baxter Stockman. So, all right. How many of these hands did I drop? Good gosh. So I guess there's another one somewhere on the floor. Apologies, but 5 hands is all you get to look at. You've got 2 grasping hands, 2 creepo reaching for you hands, creepy Scooby-Doo hands, and then a couple of fists as well. The other fist is somewhere on the floor of the Phantom Zone, and we're just going to have to deal with that. Let's see how easily these switch out. And honestly, how necessary are these extra hands? You know how necessary they are? They're that necessary because how much more horrifying is that little guy with those creepy reaching hands? Oh, I don't like it at all, but I love it. And then finally, the last piece of this incredible glow-in-the-dark mutant fly scientist equation. And let's also acknowledge the shout out to the classic horror movie The Fly, which is obviously where the idea for Baxter Stockman came from. But right here we have, just like the original toy line, the sprue with the attached weapons. Now the first images of these Super 7 Ultimates Turtles, this sprue was the only thing that was shown, and collectors were like, surely, Super 7, you're not just going to give us this sprue as part of a collector's line and expect us to cut these out and have these little tabs sticking off. And Super 7 said, no, of course not. They will include all of, the pieces separately, fully painted, that are on the sprue. We're just throwing this in as a kind of cool throwback thing. And also, don't call us Shirley. So, this is an absolutely beautiful action figure. Another great glow-in-the-dark piece from Super 7. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. If you can't, I recommend you order the regular version from Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, one of the places that is carrying these TMNT Ultimates, because this is a must-have for a Ninja Turtles fan. I know NECA is doing some really incredible stuff with Ninja Turtles, but don't sleep on this Super 7 line, because for me, For true toy collectors who loved the Ninja Turtles toys, this is going to be the line to get. Please like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching, you guys.